Hello, I'm D-Rex from Pyromaniac.com, and this is the Calvin Johnson 2010 Fantasy Outlook video. Detroit's had a rough run at it. The Lions have been terrible as a football team, dating back to essentially when Barry Sanders retired. The automotive industry in the United States has fallen through the roof, although as a result, the cars that Cadillac, Oldsmobile, and the others are making right now are much better. So the slash and burn technology upgrade there is good. Other than house music, which Detroit pretty much invented, and Calvin Johnson, over the last 5 years, there's really not that much else to rave about. I think the Tigers were pretty good a few years ago, but Calvin Johnson was a high draft pick. He was second overall, and this was after a lot of failed Matt Millen draft picks of taking wide receivers high. People didn't want him to do it, but the talent was just too heavy not to. He went right behind Jamarcus Russell. I think the Raiders would have liked to have had Calvin Johnson instead of Jamama. But Calvin is a beast. He's 6'5", he's fast as hell, he's got light hands, he's probably the most gifted college and one of the most highly regarded college wide receivers ever in the history of the NFL. He's just an all-around package. He's delivered. He's been really good considering how terrible the teams that he's been playing for over the last 4 seasons have been. But he could be better. He had a very disappointing season, all things considered, at least for fantasy owners. He had under 1,000 yards at 984 yards. He only had 5 TDs, which is just not really enough, especially considering he had 20 red zone targets. He had 137 targets overall, which is a lot. So they try and get him the ball. They almost, over his career, he's almost, they try to get him the ball about 10 times per game. So it's not for lack of effort, but the problem is the team's so bad that, or they have been pretty bad offensively, that he's usually double teamed or triple teamed. If you watch a 50,000 view setting of how defenses play against the Lions, it is completely focused on Calvin Johnson. Through his first 45 games, to compare Jerry Rice and Megatron, first 45 games, Calvin had has 193 receptions, 3,071 yards, and 21 TDs. Jerry Rice, over his first 45 games as a pro, was 206 catches, 3,725 yards, and 41 TDs. So Calvin was kept up pretty nicely with Jerry Rice in a few of the stats, all things considered. Rice was drafted by a team that won the Super Bowl the year before. Calvin Johnson does not have that luxury. Calvin Johnson last year was playing with a rookie, the first pick overall in the draft last year, Matthew Stafford, who I think is awesome. He's got a gun for an arm. He had a few great games last year. He certainly had, in last year, Stafford, to give you some stuff, he threw for at least 1 TD in 8 of the 10 games he played, and in the 2 that he didn't throw for a TD, he ran for 1. This guy's a really good athlete. There's a YouTube video that we have on our site on Matthew Stafford's page that shows that game where he had the last-minute drive that he won. He basically was playing with a separated shoulder. The team loves him. He's going to be a really great quarterback. The big big jump for quarterbacks in the NFL is from their rookie season to the sophomore season. So I think that's a big plus for Tron. I think Stafford's going to get a lot of opportunity. Their strength of schedule against the pass is pretty favorable. They've got the 13th easiest passing defenses that they go against this year. On the flip side of that, they've got the 25th rushing defenses that they're going to be running against. So I feel that they're going to try and pass to win games in a lot of these games, considering what they're going to be given from the secondary versus up front to stop the running backs. Things to consider are the fact that now he's got Nate Burleson as on the opposite side of him. For the past few years, it's been Bryant Johnson, who, let's be honest, is he was pretty much first-round bust. He didn't do anything on Arizona in a major passing attack. He hasn't done anything for Detroit. To have Nate Burleson coming in the mix really helps him. It's the best person on the other side. They've got to consider Burleson. He's a deep threat, good player. They brought in a running back out of Cal this year in this year's draft in the first round, Javid Best maybe. He's fast as hell. He's basically like C.J. Spiller. He's a smaller back, but he catches great. He's going to be just a weapon for them. I think Kevin Smith, hopefully he's going to be hurt for a little bit of the season, but I was really big on him last year. I thought he was going to become a breakout star player. He had a bad season, ended up getting hurt at the end of the year. Hurt me and a lot of other fantasy owners that went on him. But this guy's a good running back. Once he gets healthy, I think him and Javid Best are a nice tandem, a nice young tandem out of the backfield. Obviously, that helps Megatron as well. They've got Brandon Pettigrew, who is an awesome tight end, highly touted, another, I believe, first-round pick for them. If not last year, he's good. So they've got all the corners are spoken for. They've got a diverse backfield, a pretty scary backfield. Kind of they can go the distance when they get the ball in their hands with Best. He's a scat back type of guy. He's going to get a lot of receptions. I see him as the running back version of like a Percy Harvin. You just got to get the ball in his hands many times a game. That opens it up for Johnson. I mean, it's nothing but good. Playoffs next year, Week 14, they're home against the Packers. It's probably going to be a big scoring game. The Packers have got a pretty electric passing attack and an elite offense, so they're gonna have to score to stay in that game. So if you make the playoffs and you have Megatron, that's an okay matchup. Week 15 is a pretty good matchup. They play against Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. Nice weather guaranteed. Week 16, they're at Miami Dolphins. Again, I sort of think the Dolphins are a little overrated. They've got a pretty good defense, but nothing to write home about, in my opinion. I think that's a great matchup. So that's all games at the end of the season where they're at home, they play in a dome, and when they're at Tampa Bay and Miami, those are both Florida games, so the weather's going to be nice. So you got that going for you, which is nice. Some other things to think about is that he's going to be healthy going into the season. One of his downfalls is he does miss a game or two, kind of like Bolden that way. Last year he missed 2 games, and it's something to consider. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think you can go into this season really thinking that he's gonna be hurt. He's a big guy. He's not scared to go over the middle. Let's just hope that he makes that jump and can stay healthy for the entire season. He did it 2 years ago. 3 years ago he missed 1 game, but he's banged up a lot. He plays through stuff. So, like I said, like Bolden, sometimes you get a Calvin Johnson that's a gamer, but isn't at 100%, and obviously that hurts you from a fantasy perspective. But you got Stafford. You've got an electric backfield. Hopefully, Kevin Smith comes back and can, save face for his disappointing season last year. This team's not that bad.